slavery is not against the law.
Well, some places it is, some places it isn't. We've agreed. In this settlement, slavery is not welcome.
You've agreed. Is this agreement written down? Is it a law?
It doesn't need writing. Enough handshakes, and it is the law in these parts.
All right, all right. If that's what the council wants, I'll abide. But let me point out that your agreement will keep us all poor for the rest of our lives.
Nobody's starving.
Nobody's starving. Is that what you all want? Not to starve? Is that the reason we came out to this new land here? Not to starve? Or did we come out to build up this new land as fast as we know how? And you, Jed, how about you? I mean a man your age. Couldn't you use a little more help at harvest time?
I expect we all could.
But you can't afford hired help. I can't neither. And that's the reason I bought 2 slaves.
There's no getting around it, Daniel. With a few extra hands, we could put a lot more bread on the table during the long winter.
You know how I feel about slavery, Jed. I say no. And I hope I speak for most of the settlers.
Well, now, maybe you do and maybe you don't. I, for one, think you speak for yourself and no one else.
You're welcome to think whatever you like, Taggart.
Well, this is a fine way to conduct a council meeting. Let one man ride herd and all the rest. If Boone here really believes he speaks for most of the settlers, he shouldn't mind letting them decide what they want.
Well, it seems to me they've already decided. You're the only one that owns slaves.
We've been going on quite a spell. I move we close the meeting and take this up again next week.
Now, hold on a moment, Jed. Jed, one moment. Gentlemen, I suggest we hold a vote. Let each settler make up his own mind. Unless, of course, our esteemed leader, Mr. Boone, is offended by the democratic process to decide the issue.
All right, we'll have that vote, Taggart. And if you lose, your slaves go free.
Agreed.
All members in favor, raise their hands. Adjourned till 2 days from now, when you'll vote.
Persuasive talker, that Taggart, isn't he? And a bad thinker.
I thought you'd never get here.
Important business. After him! Hold your fire! Now, you'll be a lot better off passing the word and seeing to your own livestock. Mingo and I'll track you.
What if it's running in a pack, Mr. Boone?
Well, Miss Smith, that's not likely unless it's winter and he can't get anything to eat. Now, don't worry. Come on, Mingo.
You know, everything would be simplified if the wolf got Boone instead of the other way around. We'll just wait and see what happens.
Daniel Boone. From his moonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippinest, roaringest, fightingest man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a boom, what a doer, what a dream come truer was he.
Hold your fire, Mingo. He's not going to hurt anybody.
I'm not sure I can share your confidence, Daniel. You'd never believe this at Oxford.
I've heard stories about wolves being friendly to men, but I never put much stock in them.
I've also heard stories of wolves being friendly to men and then turning on them.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. Wait. I'll do it. Let's go home.
I never heard anything like that before in my life, Dan. We're sorry to have bothered you, but now we can sleep peaceful with no ravaging wolf to worry about.
Well, you can sleep peaceful, all right, Jed. I didn't kill the wolf.
Pardon me. Ma'am? Did I hear you right, Mr. Boone?
You heard him.
You mean to say that wolf is still free to attack our settlement?
I didn't kill the wolf. And you don't have to worry about him attacking anything. He's harmless, he's friendly, or I wouldn't be here now.
Well, now, I don't know what kind of magic you weave to keep wild animals from harming you, but the rest of us might not be quite so fortunate. However, since you refuse to kill the wolf, I'll do it myself. Or do you consider wild animals your sole and exclusive jurisdiction in Boonesboro?
Good night, Mr. Taggart.
Good night, Mr. Boone.
Night, Donald.
Jed. Good night.
By your place in the morning.
Help you hunt that wolf.
Oh, no, Mr. Smith. Boone has just handed us a golden opportunity. We'll take advantage of it now. By morning, my popularity should have taken a distinct turn for the better.
That Mr. Taggart won't get the wolf, will he, Pa?
Well, it's hard to tell, son, but not until daylight anyway.
That wolf will be back in the wilderness by morning, Israel.
I reckon so. He'd be getting back to his family.
How do you know he's got a family?
He wouldn't have been that nice to you if he didn't have a family.
Makes real good sense.
And it makes real good sense to me if you and I fetch in the wood for the night, Israel.
You know, There's always something needs doing around here.
Go on, young man. Go on. Your chores have to be done. Dan, do you feel all right?
Oh, a little weary. But nothing a good night's sleep won't take care of.
Need something to eat first. You're gonna need all your strength for the arguing with Mr. Taggart. Dan, it's the wolf. It's out there.
I saw him too, Pa.
It's him, all right.
Well, shoot, Dan.
He bother you, Israel?
No, Pa.
You, Becky?
No. But what about Israel's pet deer?
Israel, get that cooked meat off the table.
Okay, Pa.
If he was going to bother that deer, he would have done it by now.
Here you go, Pa.
Come on, boy. Come on. Come on, boy. Come on.
Be careful, Dan. Well, we've had enough excitement around here for one day. It's time for all young men to go to sleep.
That means me.
That means both of you.
Well, come on, Israel, and I'll carry you up. Oh, he's getting heavy.
Pa, won't the wolf come back now that you've fed it?
Oh, he probably will.
What'll happen then?
Well, if he makes a habit of it, he's sure to get killed.
Isn't there anything you can do about it?
I don't figure there is.
Yes, there is, Pa. You can at least see that Mr. Taggart don't kill him.
You're right. I can do that.
Promise?
I hate to bother you, Daniel, but I thought you might like to know. Taggart and Smith are out tracking the wolf. I'll be right with you.
They're fresh. You can't be too far away. Adam.
Yes, sir?
You and Joseph fan out that way. If you see him, yell. Smith and I will go through here.
Yes, sir.
No. We'll get closer, get a better shot at him.
He sure don't seem to care much whether he lives or dies.
Just dumb, that's all. This'll put him out of his misery.
There you are. No need for that. This animal belongs to me.
Just who are you?
The name's Jarvis.
That wolf's been stalking our settlement.
Not this wolf. He probably was looking for help. For me. Got myself tangled up in a bear pit.
A bear pit? We very seldom have people traveling in these parts. We had no way of knowing.
Yeah, I guess I done plumb forgot about civilized people and their ways. Well, I'll keep the wolf close from now on.
Take it you raised him yourself.
Not exactly. I've been west of a river called the Mississippi for now under 3 years. In a country where they never seed a white man afore, where the Indians are called Sioux, Ree, and Apache. Well, one night, about a year ago, I reckon, I'm in this cave, dozing off, and I feel fur rubbing up against me. Not much could I do, but I just sat there all night with my eyes wide open. Didn't even know what kind of critter it was till daybreak. And I got my first peek at him. Sitting there, crouched a few feet away from me. Still felt uneasy. So acting natural as I could, I collected my belongings and took my leave of that cave. Next night I made camp, he showed up again. Fit him that time. We've been together ever since.
Well, that's a very tender story, Mr. Jarvis. But you better stand aside now. That wolf's a danger at our settlement.
I told you that wolf don't mean no harm.
We don't figure it that way. Now stand aside.
Now, you only got one bullet in that rifle. If you shoot that wolf, you're gonna have me after you. If you shoot me, the wolf will get you. Now, like I said, that wolf don't mean no harm, but there's only up to the point.
Smith, hold your rifle on him.
Taggart, you're going to have me to deal with, too.
Well, Daniel Boone stands next to a breed and a wolfman from the wilderness instead of his own settlers.
So you're Daniel Boone.
It's my friend Mingo.
Howdy.
Those Indian tribes you mentioned, Mr. Jarvis, I've never heard of them.
Yeah, and there's a lot more out there you ain't heard of, too. It's the 8th wonder of the world, that land west of that river. It's the kind of land a man like you'd take to, Daniel. Wide open country, plenty of room, rivers flowing the year round, and mountains reaching up into the sky like you never dreamed of.
Well, it sounds exciting. What brings you to settlement?
Supplies. Men. I can't rope that new land out there by myself. When I figured I was close to Boonesboro, I was hoping I'd run into you. You and me. We're the kind of men the wilderness was made for. Someone that loves it and tames it at the same time.
Sounds like you might be making me a proposition.
I sure am. It's a kind of experience that don't come along but once in a lifetime.
Well, I can't say it doesn't warm my blood, but I've got a wife and a family. And
Daniel Boone, family man? That does come as a surprise. But I don't reckon you'd have the kind of family that holds you back from the kind of work you love. The kind you was cut out for.
Nope. But I've got enough to keep me busy right here in the settlement.
You don't mean critters like that Taggart that was just here? That's work for boys, not a man like yourself.
We'll talk about it later. But you're welcome to stay at my cabin while you're here. And it just could be that one of Becky's home-cooked meals might be as exciting as that new country you're talking about.
Yeah, maybe you're right, but I'll decline your invite just the same. Already got me a nice warm cave picked out where me and the wolf would be bedding down.
Well, have it your own way, but the invitation still stands.
And the same goes for my invite. Much obliged to both of you for your help. Let's go, Wolf. Come on.
Here goes a man that lives as free as the eagle.
That he does.
I'd you like to meet that wolf man, Pa?
His name is Jarvis, Sizzle.
Well, anyway, I'd sure like to meet him. Him and his wolf must have had a lot of scary times.
Oh, I'm sure Mr. Jarvis could tell you some fine adventures, Israel. But so can your father. You know, Boonesboro was a wilderness when we came here, too.
Did you ever live with the wolf, Pa?
Nope.
I think our son's going to grow up to be a trailblazer, Dad.
Well, he could pick a lot worse things. Opening up new country, it was hard to find a better feeling, knowing that you're the first.
Pa, why don't we go back with Mr. Jarvis like he asked you to?
Well, Israel, I don't think he had all of us in mind. You know, trailblazing takes a man a long way from home.
That wouldn't bother me none.
Oh? What about your ma? How do you think she'd feel?
Mothers spoil everything.
Well, is that a fact? Well, I wouldn't want to disappoint you, young Mr. Boone. Now that you finished your breakfast, you go get your grammar book and do your lesson for the day.
Oh, Mom!
Now! Dan, you know, all you've talked about since you've got up is Mr. Jarvis.
Well, he's a fine fellow, Becky. I want you to meet him. That country he talks about sure sounds big and beautiful.
And you'd like to be there, wouldn't you?
Yeah, man can't have everything. I've got you, a wonderful family, a lot of good friends.
Just the same, if trailblazing's what you want, well, we'll make do somehow. Though I don't mind telling you, Boonesboro suits me just fine.
Mothers really don't spoil everything.
This is as far as you can go now, boy. Stay here. Give me a tankard.
That the Wolfman, Taggart?
Boys, our visitor here goes by the name of Jarvis. Jarvis. He can tell you all about the wilderness, if you are interested.
Well, if it ain't Mr. Taggart. Thought you'd be home guarding against that wild animal of mine.
I'm surprised you didn't bring him with you, seeing as how human you claim he is.
Not human, Taggart. Just a wolf that gets along with people.
Oh? You're a man who prefers animals to people, is that it?
Some people.
Yep. There's got to be something wrong with a man that stoops to living with wolves.
Now, you've gone just about as far as you can with that mouth of yourn. My advice, you tend to your business and I'll tend to mine.
That wolf just attacked my place. Tore down one of my fences. Killed some of my livestock. Would have killed me and the wife, too, if he didn't lock ourselves in the cabin just in time.
How long ago, Smith?
Just a few minutes ago.
But that can't be. I left him on the edge of the settlement just a little while ago.
You calling Smith and his missus a liar?
Where do you think you're going?
Out of my way.
Oh, wait a minute. You don't have Boone to help you now.
I don't need no help.
You're not going anywhere until you pay, Jarvis. And you're going to pay the hard way. Boone, too. Come that vote tomorrow.
Morning, Miss Smith.
Morning. My husband's into town for supplies.
I hear that wolf put a pretty good scare into you.
You should have killed that animal, Mr. Boone.
Well, it appears so. But I'm glad nothing happened to you or your husband. What'd he do, just come charging in here?
Yes, that's what he done.
Well, the least I can do is mend that fence he tore up. Where is it?
It's around in back. But my husband, he fixed it before he left.
Oh? Well, what about the livestock? What did you lose?
Chickens, mostly. It's been kind of you to stop by.
Well, I feel responsible. I'd like to make the loss up to you.
Oh, you don't have to do that, Mr. Boone. If you don't mind, I'll be getting back to my chores. A woman's work is never done.
Have a good day, Miss Smith. Morning, Jed.
Becky told me I'd find you over here. Daniel, the more I see of that Taggart, the less I like him.
Well, then don't see too much of him.
He's got the settlers all worked up.
Well, neither he nor the settlers had any right to do what they did to Jarvis.
Are you forgetting the wolf destroying Smith's property?
That wolf wasn't anywhere near here.
You sure of that?
If I wasn't before, I am now. Mrs. Smith doesn't carry off alive very well.
Well, then you better get busy telling the settlers. If they don't know the truth, you ain't got much chance of beating Taggart in that vote tomorrow.
Well, that may be so. I only hope they're not gullible enough to go along with Taggart and slavery. Morning.
Smith.
Everything going all right, Taggart? The way I figure it, I stand a 50-50 chance to win that vote tomorrow.
Yeah, my bit of play, I can fool everybody, huh?
But I'd like to make positively sure I win.
I don't follow you, Taggart.
Well, if I kill that wolf, I'm sure I'll pick up enough votes to win.
Yeah, I reckon so.
So, when everybody else is sitting down to the noonday meal, we're gonna do it. This time, Boone or nobody else is gonna stop us, huh?
It's all right now, boy. Sit now. Sit.
What you doing here, boy?
Are you Mr. Jarvis?
Uh-huh. And who would you be?
I'm Israel Boone.
Well, if you were a Boone, you're welcome. Come on in. You didn't come all the way out here to be scared, did you? Cat got your tongue? Didn't your pa tell you that that wolf liked humans?
Uh-huh. But I ain't ever been this close to a wolf before.
Well, come on over here and pat him on the head. He likes that. See, he likes that. Do it again. Yeah, he knows you're Daniel Boone's son.
Well, he couldn't know that.
Wouldn't be too sure. Animals can sense more than we give them credit for. Your ma know you're out here?
Not unless you can sense it. But I just had him at you and the wolf. Does he have a name?
Nah, hadn't gotten around to giving him one yet.
If we was to go in the wilderness, Do you think I could make friends with a wolf?
Hard telling. Maybe if you started out with a cub.
I'd sure like to go. See all those new places.
I reckon you just have to wait till you grow up a bit.
I reckon so. But then Pa might change his mind. He ain't too happy today.
That makes two of us. What got your pa so upset?
What Taggart and the others did to you.
Maybe that beating wasn't for nothing after all. Hello. Well, howdy.
Look, Pa.
They took to each other without a hitch.
I just came down to see how you were feeling.
Mouta knowed settlements was more savage in the wilderness.
Jarvis, Taggart's using you and the wolf to get back at me.
Yeah, I figured as much. When I get through with him, he won't bother you no more.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I'd like for you to leave him to me.
Well, that is asking a lot.
He comes up against me tomorrow in a vote. That's the way I'd like it settled.
All right, if that's the way you want it, fair enough. Maybe you'll be the one that gets beat. And then you'll see that trailblazing is the honest way of life for you.
Well, maybe. But you come along with hers with me. Becky wants to do something about those bruises.
Can we take the wolf, Pa?
We better leave him here. He's found himself a girlfriend. She's ugly and scroungy, but he likes her. Go on, boy, go on.
Maybe him and his friend have run away.
Well, reckon I had to lose him sometime.
It ain't right, Joseph.
You got a new invention for cutting up wood?
I ain't thinking about wood. It's Mr. Taggart going after that wolf.
I wouldn't worry none about no wolf.
He's a living thing that's loved by someone.
Stop worrying about things you can't change. It leads to trouble.
But still in all, I wonder what Mr. Boone and Mr. Jarvis would do if they knowed.
Don't you go fooling around in white man's business.
I'm glad you could come, Mr. Jarvis. I'd like to hear more about this new land of yours.
Thank you, ma'am. I didn't think women cared much for trailblazing talk.
Oh, you don't mind if you're married to a trailblazer. And my husband's thinking along those lines again.
Now, Becky,
You think I don't know what you're feeling?
I reckon she does at that.
You'd like it out there, ma'am. Nights are clear, the weather's dry. And there's mountains. You can see for miles in the distance. And you can never feel lonesome with a mountain before your eyes. And they got an animal out there they call the buffalo. Gonna change this country one of these days.
What's a buffalo?
Well, it's bigger than a cow and stronger than an ox. It's got horns twisting out of its skull. And there are millions of them.
You're making it sound mighty uninviting to a woman.
But, Ma, that's the whole fun of it. All those strange animals.
Reckon us wilderness lovers have got you outnumbered, Becky.
It looks like you do. But tell me this. If you fine, strong men are out chasing new trails, how are the settlements going to grow up and become regular towns?
Well, midwife in a settlement's a job for women.
Oh, is it now? And just how is a woman supposed to stop men like Taggart?
You got yourself quite a woman there. Mend up a bruise, cook a scrumptious meal, and argue like a... I bet you she could argue the horns off of one of them buffalo.
You better watch out, Jarvis. She's going to convince you that you need a wife.
No, necessarily. Not me. I'm not the settling down kind.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. He's going after the wolf, Mr. Boone.
Thank you. You did the right thing by coming here. Jarvis, you and I have got some hunting to do.
Now all we have to do is go around and wait for him on the other side.
Right.
Fool animal. All that running did was to pump more blood out of him.
Can't have much use for humans now. Not even you, Jarvis.
It's my fault. Should have known better than to civilize him. He was born a wild thing. A wild thing, he should have stayed.
If you touch him, she'll attack.
Easy now, gal. I just want to take a look at him. Looks like that bullet tore through his chest. If it did, just bleed to death. Sorry, boy. There ain't nothing else I can do for you except put you out of your misery.
If you kill him, we're gonna have to kill her too. Here, take my knife. See if you can cut that bullet out. If it didn't enter the chest, the bleeding might stop. But get on with it. She's not gonna sit out there much longer.
Now, boy. Easy now. Easy. It's gonna hurt a little bit, but I'm trying to help you. Easy. I got it. Easy now. It didn't enter the chest.
Try to bandage it if you can.
But if he walks, he'll start bleeding again. Maybe this'll help.
There's no harm in leaving him here. I reckon she'll take good care of him.
I reckon.
He'll come back to you when he's strong enough.
Daniel, you go on ahead. I think I'll sit here a spell and make sure he's all right.
I'll be at the settlement if you need me.
You already done more than enough. I'll take care of the rest of it.
I wouldn't want you to do anything foolish.
Killing Taggart ain't foolish. Makes all the sense in the world.
Jarvis, I asked you to let me handle Taggart my way.
It was afore he shot my wolf.
Look, he's mean and ambitious. But Taggart doesn't need killing. What he needs is some good, strong medicine.
Never thought I'd live to see the day when a trailblazer like Daniel Boone handling Taggart like a schoolmarm. Taggart's my business now. It's a matter twixt two men, me and him and nobody else. It ain't gonna be settled by no voting.
Now, that's where you're wrong, Jarvis. I know how you feel about that wolf. But you've been out in the wilderness too long. Taggart and slavery is the settlement's business, and that makes it mine. And we're gonna settle it by voting, not by killing.
You gonna back Taggart up then?
You don't leave me much choice.
All right. You can deliver a message for me. You can tell him I'll be coming in after him.
I wish you'd think that over.
I have. You don't leave me no choice neither. If you get in my way, I'll have to kill you too.
Barkeep, drinks for everybody. To the killer and the wolf!
Fine celebration. Celebrating the death of an animal that hurt no one.
It's disgraceful, Mingle.
Wolf hard to bring down, Taggart?
Well, I'll tell you, I'd say he gave us a pretty good run for our money, didn't he, Mr. Smith?
You bet your life he did.
And with Boone and Jarvis coming in from the other direction to try to stop us, well, I ought to keep a pretty steady finger on the old trigger. But I got him. I got him. There'll be no more plundering of our homes by that devil.
You ought to get your facts straight, Taggart. You didn't kill him.
I saw that wolf drop with my own eyes.
If you hadn't been so busy running off, you'd have seen him get up.
I'm sorry you said that, Boone. If you think I was running from you or Jarvis, you're mistaken.
Then why were you in such a hurry to leave? Afraid we wouldn't buy what you and Smith cooked up?
What's the matter, Boone? You getting desperate? You worrying about that vote tomorrow?
What did he promise you, Smith? A couple of slaves if he wins?
You say that wolf didn't attack, I say it did. You calling me a liar?
I reckon I'm calling you a liar.
Stay out of it, Smith. figuring on killing him.
Shape you're in, you couldn't stop me.
You wouldn't want to try it and see.
All right, I'll go along with it your way. After all, you still might lose that vote and end up coming with me. Vote counted yet?
They's waiting for Mr. Cudahy to come out now.
If and Boone wins, I hear tell you're gonna be free men.
That's right.
That country out there, it's gonna need good, strong men. You're welcome to come along with me if you're so inclined.
Why, thank you, Mr. Jarvis. We'd like that just fine.
Morning, Jarvis.
Morning, Daniel.
Yeah, I just want you to know that win or lose, I'm gonna stay. Becky's got a pretty good point. Somebody should stay here and look after the settlement, at least for a while.
I figured as much.
The vote count reads 57 for Boone and 5 for Taggart.
You big kitty, man. I'll still be waiting on you. Been nice knowing you, folks.
Daniel Boone. From a coonskin cap on the top of old Dan to the heel of his rawhide shoe, the rippin'est, roaring'est, fighting'est man the frontier ever knew. Daniel Boone was a man, yes, a big man, and he fought for America to make all Americans free. What a boom, what a doer, what a dream come truer was he.